But I was a kid, and I was in kindergarten, okay? And just to drive home the fact of how absolutely insane this teacher was. But, the teacher sent me to timeout, gritted her teeth at me, was talking bad to me. I didn't like it, because I was and always will be a rebel. I just want to point out that I had no intention of actually following up on these threats because I was 5. But, I said my dad has a closet full of assault rifles, and I'm gonna bring one to school, and I'm gonna shoot her up against the wall, and she's gonna melt into a puddle. And where did I get the puddle melting part from? I got it from an episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog, where they shot arrows at him and pinned him to the wall, and then he melted into a puddle to get out of it. I just want to drive home, and I was 5 years old, I had no concept of life and death. My dad only had 2 guns, he didn't have a closet full of assault rifles. I don't know where he kept the guns. And even if I did know, I was 5 and wouldn't have been able to lift it. So what does the crazy teacher do? She goes, and she calls the police on a 5-year-old. Isn't that insane? The police show up and handcuff this little kid to the chair, and I had this lollipop, and they took my lollipop! It's like how they take the stupidest shit seriously, but not something that's actually serious. My parents show up, and they threat assess me, and, they see that I'm really not a threat because I'm a kid. Duh. Stupid. And then they confiscate my dad's guns and then purposefully soak them in water so they rust and can't be used. And then they had the police, show up on the regular and watch over me. And, I think this is overkill, for real. I was 5. I would get it if I was a teenager and I actually, my threats carried more weight, but I was 5. Dad's way of parenting, he used to, use scare tactics on me to try to get me to fall in line. He was like, hey, if you say things like that, then, if you don't behave, the police are watching you, they're gonna take mommy and daddy to jail, and we had 2 Malteses at the time. They're gonna put our dogs in the gas chamber. So, I was over there later in school, I'm terrified of these police officers now. And they come up to me, and they're like, hey, what you drawing? And I said, I'm drawing a picture of a rainbow. They said, are you being a good girl? And I said, yeah, I'm being a good girl so you don't take my mommy and daddy to jail and put my dogs in the gas chamber. And she's like, wait, what? And then I explained to her what my dad said. She's like, that's not gonna happen. But then social services were called, and I'm like, great. That teacher quit after that. It seems like she should quit if she's gonna be such a chicken shit, and call the police on 5-year-olds.